Hello, everybody. Give me 1 second. We're going to be starting soon. I'm just waiting for some people to sign up, and we're going to start in just 1 minute. In the meantime, let me welcome everybody to this really special holiday edition of Gelato Flavors. It's going to be a really fun webinar. We're going to be making 3 holiday-inspired gelato recipes, and they're inspired by things or desserts that we eat during this season. And let me just see, we have 15. I think we can start soon. Let's just wait another minute, and then we'll go ahead and start with the webinar. Just to tell everybody, we're going to be having some questions and answers. And you can, if you look on your screen, there is a little chat, but then there's also another button that you can press to write your questions. And I'll be seeing them as we go. If I can answer them at that moment, I will. Otherwise, I'll just leave them for the end. But I want this to be an interactive conversation. So just go ahead and write your questions there or your comments, and we'll be telling them or answering them as we go. So I think I'm gonna start now. We have enough people already signed up or signed in actually. So I'll welcome everybody again to this holiday edition of Gelato Flavors. It's a webinar with Bravo. Welcome everybody. Thank you for attending. And over there in the other side of the Atlantic, well, first of all, my name is Sabrina Mancin. I'm a chef and a brand ambassador of Bravo. And I'm actually in Orlando, Florida. I live in Miami, but I'm working in Orlando. And on the other side of the Atlantic, I have Marco Dopello, who works with Bravo, and he is going to be my helper. So if I'm Santa, he's the elf. so he's going to be doing the hard work with the Tritico machines over there behind him, and he's going to be making the gelato that we're going to be talking about today. So the first one we're going to be making is inspired by hot chocolate, and especially now in the north, there's a big storm coming. So I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be eating or drinking some hot chocolate, but why not make it in a gelato flavor? And in the United States, maybe we have people from other countries, but in the United States, especially during the winter time, you drink hot chocolate with marshmallows on top. And they float, and it's really fun for kids, and then they melt and sweeten your hot chocolate. Another combination that's really common for this season is mint and chocolate, like with candy cane. So we're going to be decorating with some candy cane. So then the second one is going to be gingerbread, and the third one is going to be eggnog. Now, it's going to sound a little bit of counterintuitive of why we're starting with hot chocolate when, if you know a little bit about production schedule, that should be the last one because it's the darkest one. However, we have hot chocolate, gingerbread, and eggnog. Now, the hot chocolate, it's actually like a milk chocolate, and it's actually the lightest in flavor. So then we have gingerbread, which has spices, and that's going to have some cloves and cinnamon and allspice. So I actually want these spices to not interfere with the chocolate. So that's why I'm doing it afterwards. And then the eggnog actually has some egg in it, some egg yolk. And I don't want the flavor of the eggs to interfere with the flavors of the chocolate or of the gingerbread. So that's why I'm doing it last. Marco is going to just rinse the machine for us between the chocolate and the gingerbread, and then we'll just go from there. But if the ladies over there can show the recipe, please, for the hot chocolate, so that we can just talk about it really quick. And at the end, we can show the recipes if anybody, again, is maybe a little bit late. We'll show the recipes at the end, so no worry about having to write everything right away. So it's very straightforward. whole milk, heavy cream, and then sugar, dextrose, skim milk powder. We're going to be using a base 50, so no flavors, just a very neutral base. And then we have cocoa powder. I use 20 to 24, so really good quality cocoa powder. Some semi-sweet chocolate chips, about 60%. If you're not using chips, you can obviously use just a bar or like chocolate bars or chunks or couverture. You know, the better the ingredients, obviously, the better your gelato. About 60%, and some Nesquik. So just like store-bought regular Nesquik that you give to your kids or to your bigger kids like yourself, and whenever you want to eat either or drink a hot chocolate. So, and then we're going to decorate with marshmallows and candy cane. So let's pass it to Marco, who's going to start making the gelato. And it's very simple. In that big bowl, as you can see, he has all the dry ingredients, including the chocolate chips. He did a fantastic job at separating every ingredient so that you all can see it, because he's going to just mix with a spatula all of the dry ingredients together. So thank you so much for that, Marco. Looks like a painting. He's going to start mixing it really, really well. And we do this mainly so that the base, and in this case, the cocoa powder, gets sort of protected with the sugars and the dextrose. And we combine all of the textures, because they all, even though they're powders, they actually are different sizes. And see, we have like a big lump of cocoa powder over there, and that's what we want to prevent. We wouldn't want that right there as a chunk in the machine. Now he's going to be adding the dry ingredients to the wet, very simply, and then he's going to immersion blend them. Now, obviously, we have the immersion blender on top of the machine, but I know not everybody has it. So in this case, you would immersion blend at this point, okay? And then you can, we're gonna put it on the top of the cylinder, or the top cylinder. So we have the top view.
Sabrina,
Marco, yes, you're gonna immersion blend it a little bit, no?
Yes, I just ending all the mixture on the upper tank of the Tritico 305 Executive Evo.
Yeah.
Very easy. I add and just press start. Perfect.
And you can program if it's for 1 minute or 2 minutes, or you can stop it whenever you want. But it's important. It's really important to immersion blend everything very well. And we're going to pasteurize to 85 degrees, okay?
Yes. Now we have to take a look. Actually, we have to wait that we reach the 85 degree. Yes. As the procedure.
Ask for it, yep.
Yeah. And when we reach 85 degree, I will call you back.
Okay. You're gonna call me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Ciao.
Thanks for calling me. So in the meantime, I mean, it's very straightforward. In the meantime, if there are any questions, please just let me know. And just so you know, all of the recipes, I'm gonna be making a post on my Instagram page tomorrow with the recipe, okay? And maybe some pictures as well. So let me see. Why don't everybody, I want this to be an interactive webinar. So please write on the chat so that everybody can see it, because the chat, everybody can see the chat. And for those who are not familiar with it, just tell me if you're doing any particular holiday flavors in your gelato shop. And if you are, which flavors are you doing? Okay. Francesca is saying hello from Charlotte to everybody. Hello, hello. You have a big storm coming your way, no? All right, Eric says, why add the Nesquik and not just more cocoa powder and chocolate? Yeah, of course you could add cocoa powder and chocolate, but it will be a stronger at the end result is gonna be stronger. And I really I was inspired by like you saw in the picture of the recipe, the actual hot chocolate that you can buy at any store, and those hot chocolates are usually either made with Hershey's chocolate syrup or with Nesquik. And I actually did want the flavor of Nesquik because it's thought about like for kids, or you know, it's a more whimsical flavor just for the holiday season. And I did want actually that flavor in it. And of course, you could change the recipe and just add more cocoa powder and more chocolate, and then serve it, you know, at a different time of the year, and you would have a different type of gelato actually, because it would be stronger in flavor. So it's just because I did have that. Oh, thank you. My pin. Francesca's complimenting my pin. Yes, it's a holiday Santa, very festive. I have a bow earrings too. So is anybody making any flavors, any holiday flavors at your shop? Because it's another one that's really popular. Would be nougat. Nougat is another one. Can you do the peppermint, please? We don't have it for today. We could do it another time. But or if you want to write to me on Instagram, I'll write my Instagram here on the chat so that you can follow me. And if you write to me, if you DM me on my Instagram, I can give you a recipe for peppermint or peppermint chocolate. That's also really yummy. Another one that you can do is just like white peppermint, like white mint, and decorate it with candy canes or like crushed mint as well. That's really nice for the holiday season. Did he bring it down? No. Marco, can you hear me?
Yes.
We could also start. Are you using just one machine or both machines? Or you have only one 305, right?
Actually, no. I have here a Tritico Executive Evo 610.
Okay.
Over there is the Tritico Executive Evo Tabletop 183.
Okay.
K24 chocolate tempering machine. And today we use the Tritico Executive Evo 305.
Perfect. So that's the one that is perfect for making one basket.
One batch.
Una basqueta. Yeah, one batch. So that's what we're using. And all the recipes for today are actually like for a total of 4 kilos. Mm-hmm. So Dirk is saying, yes, we do holiday flavors: candy cane, eggnog, Bailey's, orange cream, nice. Blackberry Cabernet, that sounds really good. And cranberry orange sorbet, yum. Which one is the people's favorite? Like, which one do you sell the most during this? Out of the ones that you wrote, which one do you sell the most? You know what happened to me in my shop with the candy cane, really? And you make it white? Or like reddish white? Because I used to make like green mint chocolate. Yes, perfect. And then for the holidays, I used to change it and not add with candy cane on top, and not add the green coloring. And people thought it was actually a different base, and they were like, no, but I like the green one better. And it was exactly the same recipe. And we see there did you end up chopping the marshmallows?
Yes.
See, they had like these huge marshmallows. And I said, people say that Texas has everything that is big, but you guys have like bigger marshmallows than we do.
Yeah, but I will have a surprise for you, Sabrina.
Wow, thank you.
You know, just for remind my Jackson Pollock inspiration.
Yes. Yes. He asked me yesterday if how he had to decorate, and I said, just bring out your Jackson Pollock and just do something beautiful and nice.
Actually, because if I will mistake something, I can tell that is a modern art.
Of course, it's modern art. Absolutely. Nobody understands it, but it's art.
We have reached 85 degrees.
Fantastic.
So in a little bit, we will open the butterfly valve. Yeah, and we transferred all the hot mixer to the lower freezing cylinder.
Perfect.
And I will use the ionic automatic system.
Correct. That way the machine tells us exactly when it's going to be ready.
Yeah. Now we are 83 degrees.
Okay. Almost there. So Carlos says, hello there. Yes, I'm doing panettone. Oh, nice. Seasoned fruits like pomegranate and bacca di goji. Okay, goji berries, mandarin and ginger, pumpkin amaretto and saffron. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Pumpkin amaretto with saffron. Okay, it's beeping. Nice.
I open the butterfly valve, the mixture, sorry. Yeah. Come down very easily. I transfer everything from the upper heating tank to the lower cylinder and just press
start. Awesome.
That's it.
Great. So, yeah, Eric, you don't, you can do whatever you want. I just wanted some of the flavor of the Nesquik in the recipe, in the gelato, because you do taste it. It's a softer flavor and sweeter flavor, actually. But of course, you don't have to add it if you don't want to. You can just add cocoa powder and chocolate. It's just that I wanted it in my gelato, so I added it. Yes, so Dirk, the other flavors we're going to be making are gingerbread and eggnog. So two that you actually make. So maybe we can compare notes at the end. And then Francesca saying, don't you want to cook your chocolate higher than 85? You can. The cocoa powder is the one that you would want to cook higher than 85, because mainly cocoa powder is all fiber. It only has 20-24% of fat. However, the percentage here is not that high. And I do have chocolate. I have the Nesquik, which melts incredibly fast. So that's why I'm not doing it higher. I didn't want to also change the properties of the chocolate chips or the Nesquik. So because it's a small percentage, I didn't want to cook it higher than 85. No. Dirk, you can actually scroll up on the chat and you're gonna see it. I was just actually reading from the chat myself. So if you scroll up, you're gonna see right after your post, it was Carlos Silva's post, and that's where he wrote down that he was doing panettone, seasonal fruits, etc. And I'm dying to taste that pumpkin amaretto and saffron. Yeah, it's really, really nice. Sounds really good. I cannot see. Did Marco? You have the you added water to the top, because I cannot see the kitchen.
Yes. I just added some water on the upper vertical tank.
Okay.
I will show you how I do it. Washing them, just add some water.
Yeah.
To rinse very quickly and clean the machine.
Perfect.
Very easily.
Perfect. Okay. So this is strange, Dirk, that you don't see it. Let me ask you something. Did you see when I wrote down my Instagram? Because if you did see that, then I can copy paste. No, Okay. That's strange. Let me see. Now tell me please if you see now there, my Instagram. Do you see it now? No. Let me see. No, I wasn't actually writing to everybody. I don't know why. One second. People type their messages, I need to change. Oh yeah, exactly. It's not that now we see it. Yeah, it was there we go. Okay, I think now you can see it. And so what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna retype what Carlos wrote so that you see it, Dirk. So that last chat, that last message, hello there, yes, I'm doing panettone. That's what Carlos actually wrote. So you guys can all see now the flavors that he's doing. So I think everybody can see it now, right? Okay. How's it going, Marco? What temperature are we in?
We are at 7 degrees. So we are more or less at 50% of the beaching of the freezing process.
Yeah, okay.
On the upper tank, I'm heating some water just for rinse the machine between one flavor and the other, but it's not necessary because as you teach us, we can create a rotating production process in order to the flavor, to the color.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, sounds good. Let me see if there are any more questions. Carlos saying that you have a very strong Italian accent.
Thank you. It's a compliment, I hope.
I don't know. Ask him.
Someone have called me for the Sopranos series.
Ah, that would be, yeah. That would fit. That would fit very well. Well,
so the ionic system, it's working well. We are reached more or less minus 3rd degree.
Minus what?
Minus 3.
Ah, 3. Okay. Yeah, we're almost there. Okay. So obviously this one, you can use this base and then put a different variegate on top. You could do like a chocolate sauce as well, or even like marshmallow fluff would be really nice. I don't know. I know not every country has this, but marshmallow fluff would be a nice variegate. For it. Now I was asking you, Marcos, because maybe we can use the other big machine to start another gelato.
Or make the other gelato?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can.
But, yes, of course.
I'm gonna make you clean twice, but.
So, if
you know
wanted,
which one I want
start...
to do?
What?
Can you do the eggnog in that one, in the bigger one?
No, actually, I prefer the gingerbread over here.
Okay, that's fine. Just so that we don't have that much space between both.
I take my liquid.
So, Okay, you can do that. Just we'll show the recipe. We'll show the recipe as soon as you add them. We'll show it right afterwards. That way, while it's processing, I can talk about the recipe. So let me see him actually. Let me see him for 1 second before you do the recipe.
Hold on.
I cannot see Marco now. Can you show me the kitchen, please? There we go. So what? Okay, the liquids. Okay.
I just add my liquids.
Okay.
I pick it up my solids.
Yeah.
Okay. Add on the upper tank.
Yeah. And of course, if you didn't have the attachment, then obviously you would do solids and liquids outside of the machine in a pitcher. You immersion blend them, and then you put it on the top. But that is a very, very cool gadget to have.
And I can use my immersion blender too.
Perfect. So he's immersion blending that on this machine, and then the gelato on the other machine.
Yes.
Okay. Marco, you let me know when the gelato is ready, and I'll stop talking. Okay.
Yes.
But in the meantime, let's show the recipe for the gingerbread, please. Okay. Let's put it on the big screen.
We reach -6.
Okay, so we'll start talking. We're almost there.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess instead of showing the recipe right now, let's wait until this one's ready because it's gonna be ready soon. So what are you eating for Christmas, Marco?
What I will prepare. I like to cook for Christmas.
You do? What do you cook?
Yes. I will prepare tortellini.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
Or tagliatelle in duck ragu sauce.
Whoa.
Bolognese sauce of duck. I will prepare some roast, as always.
Okay. Okay.
With the nutmeg, some some how do you call it? The bacon?
Yes, bacon. Yes, nice. Okay.
With bacon.
Everything very light.
Roasted potatoes, gelato.
Oh. Oh.
We are almost ready about the extraction of a hot chocolate gelato.
Yeah. No, Dirk, we haven't showed it yet. I'm just waiting for Marco to take out the hot chocolate, and then we'll talk about the recipe. So don't worry, we haven't showed the recipe yet. I just wanted to keep going because I don't want to have that much space, that much time between one another. But we haven't showed the recipe actually. Just know that he added all the dries and then all the liquids together. That's it. Okay, I think I hear one machine beeping, right?
Yes, we are ready for extraction.
Ready. We're ready.
Yes. Okay. I can make fast extraction.
Okay. Sorry, I'm inside a store that's actually being built at this moment, and I have people moving some things like right in front of me, and I just moved because I don't want to get hit. I'm in a new gelato shop here. Il gingerbread in italiano, come si chiama il gingerbread in italiano?
Biscotti, pan di zenzero.
Pan di zenzero. It has spices. It has zenzero, but it has also other spices. Can we show the kitchen, please? Let's show the kitchen so that we see the gelato.
And I'm ready for make my decoration. So I can add some candy.
Those are very big candy canes.
Some marshmallow.
I think Laura will show another example later on so that you see
Here and there.
Carlos, que dice garófano is clove. We're talking about ginger, but it does have clove as well.
The yellow one.
And then let's see.
I can use some chocolate chips. And I can complete the decoration with some
nice. So on my Instagram there is another version, like another presentation, so that you get more ideas on how to. What's the sauce, Marco?
What?
What sauce did you add?
I add some white chocolate and pink chocolate.
Okay, like the ruby chocolate.
Yes.
Perfect. Very nice. Okay.
Okay.
Very Jackson Pollock of you, actually. Very Jackson Pollock. Okay. So if the ladies can show the recipe now of gingerbread so that we can talk about it. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah, very Willy Wonka, totally. Okay. So the liquids were whole milk, heavy cream, and molasses. Okay. Molasses, for those who are not familiar with it, because they're not from the U.S., it's basically unrefined sugar. It's really dark. It's also called treacle in the United Kingdom, and it's almost bitter acidic. It has a lot of acidity. In fact, when you use it for baking, and you add baking soda to your gingerbread cake, it makes it rise because it reacts. So it's a very acidic. It has an acidic pH, but it's actually a sugar, an unrefined sugar. So it's kind of like a bitter in chocolate, bitter acidic. And then the dry ingredients were sugar, dextrose, skim milk powder, base 50, and then the spices. And it's cinnamon, ginger, and cloves. Okay. Some people add allspice as well. Some people add cardamom. So you'll find gingerbread that have different spices and different quantities as well, because some people add more ginger, some people add more cinnamon. This is what I like. But you could definitely change the quantity of the spices based on your audience and what people like the most. Okay, you see the cloves is very, very little. It's just 3 grams. But you taste. I mean, it does enhance the flavor. So, but it can be whatever combination of spices that you want. I think the machine is beeping on the top.
Yes.
I can see it. Yeah. Perfect. So it can go to the bottom.
I will transfer the hot mix on the lower cylinder of the Tritico 610.
Perfect. And then in the meantime, you can be rinsing the other.
Yes.
Great. So that's very cool, because in this bigger machine we can still Marco,
yes.
No, it's leaking. Look down.
Let's turn back. Let's wait a little bit, because I just looked that this machine is not connected. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, well then you rinse the other machine. machine and just put it on the bottom of the 305.
Yes.
That's fine. At least it's already pasteurized.
Yes. If Chiara can apply the recipe.
So show me the recipe again, and perfect. And then I like, yeah, I usually make the actual gingerbread cake, and sometimes if you have a gelato shop that is also a pastry shop, or if you buy the gingerbread cake, you could also actually infuse some of the gingerbread cake inside of this recipe, of this mix. Okay, you can strain it later, or if it's not much, you can just churn it with that inside. It's going to come out okay. I wouldn't add more than 200 grams, but you could actually add some of the actual cake to enhance the flavor of the actual gelato with some gingerbread cake. And notice that this is not the little the cookies. The cookies usually have more sugar than the actual cake. So I used to bake my cake and then decorate the gelato with pieces of gingerbread cake, and it comes out really, really nice. And people like it during this season. A lot of people also do nowadays in coffee shops, just to give you another idea of things that you can do. They do the gingerbread latte, right, in coffee shops. So you could do an affogato with this, and you can call it, your own. It's kind of like recalling the gingerbread latte. It's a scoop of your gingerbread gelato with a shot of espresso, and it's really nice. Just like when during the fall, during the close to Thanksgiving, I used to do pumpkin spice, and then I would offer, the pumpkin spice latte that everybody goes crazy for, thanks to Starbucks. But I would do an affogato, so it would be like my own take on the pumpkin spice latte. So you could do an affogato with that, and it's really nice, and it's just another product that you can offer with the flavors that you already have, and you can actually advertise it, because maybe you already have the affogato in your menu, but just advertise it. Advertise that you can do like a gingerbread latte, if you will. So let me know if there are any more questions while Marco solves that little problem.
We are transfer the mixer from the 6M to the 305. I transfer on the lower cylinder. Okay. I press start.
Awesome.
And the machine starts to batch the gelato.
Awesome, perfect. So now in the meantime, you can do the eggnog on top.
Yes.
So let's do the same process. Let's mix everything in before we show the recipe. That way, I can talk about it as the machine works.
So I will add.
No, show me, Marco. Not yet. Thank you.
Liquid ingredients on top.
Yep. Okay.
Very easy. And we pick it up the solids.
Okay. And see, he has everything. Yeah. Yeah.
I close. I will use again my Evo mix. Just press start and press the button.
Right. Okay. So now we can show, please, the recipe of the eggnog. Okay. So we have milk, heavy cream, and then the yolk. Okay. Those are the three liquids that he added first. Okay. Just make sure that if you don't have the immersion blender, that you mix the milk, the heavy cream, and the yolks really well, kind of like to protect the yolk. If the cylinder already is hot, you don't want to just add your yolk straight on the cylinder because you might get, you know, some cooked eggs at the end. So if you don't, especially if you don't have the immersion blender, just make sure that you mix always your yolk with the milk and the heavy cream. Then the dry ingredients were sugar, dextrose, skim milk powder, base 50, and some nutmeg. However, some people prefer cinnamon in their eggnog, not nutmeg. And you could simply just exchange the nutmeg for the cinnamon. So it's really up to you, up to your, or actually up to your audience, your customers, what they like most. But you could just exchange nutmeg for cinnamon. Now, in fact, he's going to decorate with cinnamon sticks just to let you know that you can do both. And then in this case, once the, Marco, just to remind you, I want this mix to 80 degrees, not to 85.
I just set up the machine at 80 degrees.
Perfect, thank you so much. So
And
the
the
reason,
programmable,
yeah,
80 degrees.
exactly, exactly.
I choose from my library, Gelato library, the programmable. I have the two program, adjustable and pasteurization 85 degrees.
Fantastic. And programmable is my favorite program because it allows me to do whatever I want.
And in the same time, I work with my ionic.
On the bottom. Yep.
On the bottom.
Great. But fantastic because we can be doing two things at the same time.
Yeah.
So let's show the recipe again so we can talk it. And Francesca is team nutmeg. Who's team nutmeg and team cinnamon? Who's team nutmeg and team cinnamon? Who prefers which? That would be a cool thing to know. Your two drinks in the picture look different. Is one nutmeg and the other one cinnamon. It has some nutmeg on top and the cinnamon stick. nutmeg, cinnamon. Okay. So I was saying that I want this one is a little bit different. So I want to actually just bring it to 80 degrees. And this is very personal for me. You could do it to 85, but I don't like to cook anything that has eggs higher than 80. Like when I do my pastry cream, I change to a setting of custard to 80 degrees. When I do lemon curd, passion fruit curd, whatever curd I do it all to 80 degrees. I don't like the taste of cooked yolks or cooked eggs in my recipes. So I found that if I bring it to 80, it just balances everything really nicely and it doesn't really taste like egg. Because sometimes eggs can cover the other more delicate flavors like vanilla. So I prefer to just do it to 80 degrees. But you know, it's your choice. You have both options. And then he is going to, once the whole mixture reaches 80 degrees, he's going to bring it to the lower tank. But in a different pitcher, he is going to have both the pasta whiskey and the pasta vanilla and the vanilla. You could do it, some people do eggnog with whiskey and some people do eggnog with rum. So that's another thing that we can, you guys can tell me in the chat if you prefer your eggnog with whiskey or with rum. Actually, so when the mixture is ready, he's going to take some out, mix it simply with, you don't have to take the whole thing out, just a little bit of the mix. Mix it with the paste so that the paste dissolves in some of the mix, and then we add that to the bottom already, where the rest of the mix is already there. So the reason why I don't like to add these two to the top is because I don't want to cook or evaporate some of that flavor. And if you actually see, you know, as percentage, it's actually a very small percentage of alcohol or like whiskey, rum, and vanilla. So it's just like a hint of flavor. Usually eggnog has a lot more flavor of alcohol, has like a stronger alcohol flavor. I personally don't like that. You can change it to your taste or to your customer's taste. I just don't like it. And I think it actually applies to a greater audience to have a more balanced flavor. than the eggnog you would do at home for your family. And, you know, if you want to like spike it up with a lot of alcohol. In this case, I kind of like want something that can appeal to more people. So it's just a hint to flavor the mixture. So Eric is saying one of each, an eggnog with whiskey, chased with an eggnog with rum. Yes, that's my kind of guy. Nice. I think everybody likes that too. You know, actually today on my Instagram, I think at 12, I'm gonna be releasing a reel of coquito. And for those who don't know, coquito is like the eggnog version, or like the Puerto Rican version of eggnog. It doesn't have eggs, and instead it has coconut milk. So this is something that you could, you know, if you develop your own recipes, this is also something that has delicious flavor because it has condensed milk, evaporated milk, and coconut milk. And because it's from Puerto Rico, it has dark rum and some cinnamon. So it's very similar to this recipe, but you could exchange some of the heavy creams for coconut milk, and then not add the yolks. I mean, the recipe would have to be rebalanced, but if you want that recipe, just write on my Instagram and I can give it to you. And instead of nutmeg, definitely in this case would be cinnamon if you wanted to make it traditional. But it's just another idea to give you because it's it's delicious to make at home, like to drink, but it's also a really nice gelato flavor. And I think I hear something beeping.
Now it just done the heating process.
Okay.
Yeah. In a few minutes, we will extract the gingerbread gelato.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, it's a -6, -7. Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost there. Almost there. Yes, the machine is beeping. Carlos also heard it. Yeah, Eric, just right. Because I'm like I said, I'm working at another shop that is opening. So I might forget because I'm making like 27 flavors of gelato right now. But if you write to me on my Instagram, I'll give you the recipe tonight or tomorrow. It's really nice. It's really nice. And I mean, like to drink at home, it's really good as well. With a lot of rum.
Okay. Machine is still.
Yeah. Almost there. It's almost
working.
There.
Almost.
It's tired. The machine, I mean, it's like been working all day. Needs a break.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That's a good thing. It's an employee that doesn't ask you for breaks. Here we
Ready
go.
for the extraction?
There we go. And I have to say, I want to give thanks and kudos to Marco and his wife because they had a little family project on Sunday and they made some gingerbread cookies for us to decorate the gelato.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Nobody was able to find gingerbread cake at the store in Italy. So he said, no worries, we'll make it. And so the cookies that you're going to see now, he made with his family on Sunday. And it's baking season, so it's perfect. Oh, yes, look at that. That's a masterpiece. That's a masterpiece. Obviously, you could decorate it instead with many something happened to the eye over there, but it's okay. Nice. You guys get the idea, right? Thank you, Marco, for making the cookies.
Thank you.
Thank you for making the cookies.
So I will put this in the fridge.
Go ahead. Go ahead in the black. He's smiling so everybody can take pictures. All right, so here's the recipe. But like I said, I'll also, the recipes will be on my Instagram tomorrow. So I'll make a post and you can copy the recipes. But just know that these recipes also allow for some adjustments according to your clientele. So like I said, spices or amounts of vanilla or whiskey or rum. You can change according to what you like. Okie dokie. If anybody has any questions, let me know. And in this case, we can just bring down the mixture right away. It's not going to really influence much the flavor. Already. Nobody has questions? Nothing? Nothing. So I've been explaining everything really well. Everybody's complimenting you, Marco.
Thank you. Sabrina, as you suggest, I transfer some mix, yes, hot mix in a bowl.
Okay.
And I start the batching process, yes. And
I think, make sure you mix it well. I think there was some paste on the rim of the pitcher.
Yes. And I start again my batching process.
Yeah.
And I just add from the frontal funnel.
Okay. Just make sure you grab everything that's in that pitcher. You have a spatula? Oh, thank you, Eric. I appreciate it.
Very well.
Don't leave anything behind. Scrape that pitcher. Let me see the kitchen. I think everybody already wrote down the recipe. I don't think we need the recipe anymore. Okay, I want to see Marco. I want to see Marco. Marco, where are you? There you go.
I'm a Sabrina friend. You are on the list?
On the list? What list?
The DJ's list.
I don't get the Italian the joke. What is it? What did he say? What did he say?
It was a old song.
Ah, see?
You are on the list, the DJ's list.
Right, but since I did not grow up in Italy, I had no idea what you were talking about.
So I just started the program for batching my gelato and start to batch.
Yeah.
I have ready my decoration. That will be very easy.
Okay.
Cinnamon stick.
Okay.
And when I will extract the gelato, I will decorate with cinnamon stick.
Okay, sounds good. For those that don't have a machine with ionic, what's a good extraction temperature? I would say between -8 and -9, especially the last two, the -9. That's a good extraction temperature. I would personally not chop the cinnamon sticks like if it wasn't in a shop, just because I don't necessarily trust everybody in the front of the house. I don't know if anybody has that problem. So like I know that a chunk of cinnamon stick would bring me trouble with my customers. So I would just like stick the whole cinnamon stick, especially like just in the front. just as a little decoration. I don't need to see the recipes, ladies. I think we have, yeah. I know that I did a nice job at writing them, but I think we're good. That way we can see Marco working, filling up the offer. Now you have to wash both machines thanks to me.
No, but you know, I'm pretty, you know, I'm not a professional gelato maker, you know. But, you know, I'm very happy when I do these things because I'm secure and secure after, because the machine is very easy to use.
Yes.
So I just think that if one day I will open my gelato shop,
you're ready.
For sure I will buy, yes, for sure I will buy a Tritico machine because it's very easy to use. I can wash the machine very quick, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
To train people. It's very, very easy to train people to use it, which is so important. Yeah, it's very intuitive. It's like Carlos said. Carlos says that you're actually pretty good at making gelato, that he might hire you if, you know, he didn't say that, but for sure.
No, you know, Sabrina, in front of the recipe that have introduced to us today, some suggestion, did you have some variation that you can suggest to us about?
Yeah, like I said, it's these recipes have some space to change things. For those that balance their own recipes, you can balance it, and you'll see that you could add a little bit, actually a little bit more heavy cream if you like it. I personally like gelato that's a little bit heavier, so I can even add a little bit more heavy cream on most of them, or reduce the sugar. And so I left these recipes with some room for playing around. They work beautifully just as they are, but you could also adjust them a little bit, like maybe even add more molasses if that's something that you like. I really like the flavor of molasses in gelato, just like I love brown sugar in gelato. So that would be another option.
But for instance, Sabrina, I'm sorry if I interrupt you, but just thinking that if our friends, for instance, have a Tritico Executive Evo 610, can take your recipe and make double all the quantity?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have only to multiplicate.
Yes, times 2. Just times 2 everything. If you want to make 2 batches, and yeah, absolutely. Or even, you know, even a little bit more if you wanted to make a little bit more than just 4 kilos, you could do 9 or you can do 10. So that's not a problem. It's very simple, actually, just to multiply times 2. Not a problem. But yeah, those are the 3 flavors. Anybody else that has shops wants to tell us what other flavors are doing for the holidays, for the holiday season? So I mentioned coquito, we mentioned candy cane. I mean, still, I remember I used to sell a lot of pumpkin spice still at this time of year. People don't seem to get tired of pumpkin spice. And you know what? In the US, or at least where I was, whenever I used to say pumpkin spice, people would say, oh, but I don't like pumpkin. And I said, it's pumpkin spice. It tastes like spice, not like pumpkin. So just make sure that it did have some pumpkin in it, but it didn't taste like pumpkin. It was just to give the color. I don't know what in other parts of the US or in other parts of the world it happens, but the amaretto and saffron, oh my God, I love gelato with saffron.
And the mostarda, cremonese mostarda topping.
Nice.
I used to make tortellini filled with pumpkin, with amaretto, okay, not di Saronno, just amaretto biscuit, and cremonese mustard on top.
Yeah, nice. Wow. and you say you're not a gelato master. Look at that. Look at that.
No, you
Jack
know,
is saying, yeah.
actually, I have a little bit of practice about pumpkin.
Oh, you do? Because of where you're from. Bailey's hot chocolate, that sounds delicious. Pumpkin gelato, pumpkin stracciatella, and pumpkin cheesecake. Pumpkin cheesecake is really nice. I like that one too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Actually, anche pumpkin gelato.
Yeah, I remember that Carlos said that last Egypt he brought gelato al grana padano and mostarda di pere. Yeah, amazing, amazing. You cannot sell that everywhere. Like you would never be able to sell that in Miami, Carlos. But oh, it sounds delicious. So it obviously depends on where you are. Yeah, I guess you haven't sold in Miami, Carlos. You haven't. People are very close-minded. Christmas turkey gelato would be nice too, for sure. I am known for doing something similar to that. It's actually, I think, on Instagram. I think Francesca shared that eventually last year. But during Thanksgiving, and I'll just say this, I don't know if you know this, Marco, but last Thanksgiving, I made my turkey gravy in my tritico. And it comes out amazing. It's so good. You can make bechamel, so you can make gravy. Yes. And my family was very happy.
We are almost ready.
There.
-7.
Almost there. Perfect.
There is, a smell here, apart from here, a fragrance around here in our showroom.
Yeah.
That you don't have an idea.
Really?
Yes, nutmeg.
Cool. Nice. That's nice.
Very.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Francesca is saying that the video is on Bravo North America. It's on the Instagram. Yeah, that's me making turkey gravy in my tritico. Oh yeah, pasta. Yeah, Carlo makes the pasta sauce in the tritico. Yeah, my mom always asks me, can you make me some bechamel for the lasagna? So I make the bechamel for my family in the tritico as well. And because you can freeze it, it's awesome. Because I make her a big quantity and she just freezes it. I can hear the machine almost done.
Almost done. Almost. We are -8.
Yeah.
The machine, when reach the right consistency and temperature, advert me with a sound sign. Yes. And that tell me, Marco, extract the gelato, please. Ready. I open my extraction door.
It was -9 as he was releasing it. Yeah, that one usually reaches -9.
Look, I can work slow. I can choose the faster extraction speed.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Guarda che ciuffi. Oh. Very easy. The consistency is perfect. The gelato structure is outstanding. Thanks to your recipe, Sabrina. Look. Very well. Look.
Beautiful. Okay,
I decorate
now just a little decoration, yeah.
With cinnamon stick.
And like I said, you can put it like that, or you can just stick them on the
Yeah,
front.
so we can pick. You
And
know,
you can add some nutmeg, like sprinkled nutmeg, or
my my teacher said that we eat before with the eye,
yes,
after with the tongue. Look,
yes, yeah, yeah. Nice. And
ready for Christmas.
You could sprinkle some cinnamon or with a colander or some nutmeg. Awesome. Back in the
Yes.
blast freezer, and we're done. Awesome. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful. So I just wanted, yeah, good, good. I think you can put it in the blast freezer. I get nervous when I see gelato not in the blast freezer. I start like getting panic attacks because I see the gelato. So I just put it in the blast freezer and then we can keep talking. Take care of that thing. Yes. I don't want. We can take a picture later. Listen, just one thing that I want to mention, and this is something that I can tell by just looking at it. Depending on what base 50 you use, it might come out a little bit softer or a little bit harder, depending on the brand you use. And this is, I'm not kidding. It does change, even if they're all base 50, the consistency will change, depending on the base 50 that you use, depending on the brand. So just try it out the way that I wrote it, and then you can DM me if you have questions or tell me which brand you use of base 50. But this one is a little bit different than the one I use. It's a little bit softer than the one I use. So just know that it might change. What you saw might change depending on the brand of base 50 that you use. So yes, you can use the quantity needs to change though. Somebody is saying that you could add farina di caruba or locust bean gum in English. But obviously the quantity is going to be completely different from base 50. It's going to be much less. It's going to be much, much, much less. If you want the recipe, if anybody wants that same recipe, but with locust bean gum with caruba instead of base 50, write to me, and I'll give it to you. If you don't know how, maybe you know how to change the recipe, you can do so, of course. It's gonna have a stronger consistency actually without the base 50. So you can do that. If you don't know how to change the recipe, just let me know. But I think those are the 3 flavors that we had planned for today. I want to thank Marco, my little elf in Italy. Thank you for doing such an amazing job and helping me so much.
I tried to make my best.
You did.
But hopefully behind me, I have a great machine.
Hopefully, no, you do. You do have an amazing machine. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for attending. I hope you can use these recipes. If you have questions, just let us know. I hope to see you in the next webinar. Thank you for attending. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy everything, and Happy New Year. Let's hope that 2021 it's fantastic for everybody. Okay, that we can see each other again, but with no masks on. So thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas. Until next time. Bye-bye.